Right.
The way Dwayne is playing, the way Dwayne is playing, I mean, he's playing so well. What has impressed you with the most? I mean, more than one thing. What's impressed you the most about the way Dwayne is playing?
Probably, again, his poise. There was a time where we were scrambling a little bit, trying to get into a rhythm. Couldn't quite get it going. Had a few balls on the ground and kept his poise, never panicked. We all hung in there. We didn't flinch at all when we felt like, had to get things going on track. But, when you look at it, we almost had 300 yards offense in the first half. We, get the ball, sometimes backed up a little bit. I thought we did move the ball towards midfield pretty good and flipped the field a bunch, so that was good. But I thought his poise was good throughout the game.
Ryan, is the party at your house this weekend? I mean, the $487 bump, $487,000 bump, excuse me. But I mean, I don't know how grateful you are for that, or I mean, just how do you? Well, number one, how do you do your taxes? But number two, how do you feel about that little bonus?
Well, again, being here is awesome, and what the whole administration of the university put me in this position, and I'm honored to be a part of it, and I'm very thankful for what they did. Means a lot to me and my family.
Where can this offense go from here, from the standpoint of y'all been over 500 yards every game? Obviously, I think you'd like to have been a little more efficient from a yardage to a scoring standpoint last week, obviously. But,
sure.
A lot of people are wondering where y'all can go from here, from the standpoint. What do you see that's possible out here without giving away secrets?
No, I think just the execution level's got to continue to increase. We got to capitalize when we're in the red zone. I think we got to continue to do a good job in situational stuff. What I mean by that is third downs, red zone, goal line, short yardage, backed up, all those situations that will come up as like they did in the game the other night. I thought we did a nice job, backed up. I thought we did a nice job in the 4-minute situation, eating up a bunch of clock in the fourth quarter, playing slower and understanding that. But I think as we continue to get into conference play and some close games, situational football will be very important.
Is it a little bit less stress on you knowing that you don't have to be the head coach on Saturday?
It's one less thing to worry about. Yeah, I mean, but. The job of coaching the quarterbacks and working with Kevin and the rest of the guys on the offense is still a major task. It takes a lot of work, and we get here early in the morning, we leave late at night, and we never quite stop thinking about our job. So, it's our responsibility to make sure we're doing the best we can for these kids, and so it'll be the same this week.
When you look back, you said that you are going to be on the sideline this week instead of in the booth like you were last year. How does that change the dynamic for you in terms of coaching in a game?
No, we were just mentioning earlier that there's been a comfort level there, I think, for the quarterbacks and myself calling it, being down on the field and in between series communicating. I do think that now, this week we'll be able to sit down on the bench with the guys on offense, with the quarterbacks, and discuss kind of what happened throughout the last series and make some in-game adjustments right there on the bench, where maybe the last couple of weeks I wasn't able to do that because I was kind of, watching the defense or watching the special teams and making sure I was ready for that stuff.
Game day especially, what word would you use to describe being the head coach? Was it fun? Was it intense? What word would you use?
Well, if I could come up with one word, because I think every day it was a little different. Honestly, I mean, early on it was overwhelming, and then every day it became a little bit more normal. And then the focus was just trying to keep it going and keep everything going, so that when Coach got back, it was in good shape. So I think every day brought on a new challenge, and there were certain things that wasn't ready for, certain things I was ready for, and I think every day it was an opportunity for me to get an experience in that role.
That 3-game run really does kind of puts a real feather in your cap in terms of head coaching candidacy moving forward. Not that you fell into it, but you really thrived and you made it work. Down the road, that will pay dividends, I'm guessing.
Yeah, but I think it's more about what this whole staff did. Again, I know I've said that before, and you may be tired of me hearing it, but it's so true. I mean, this staff, they're almost all head coach guys, because they manage their units, they can see problems, they're constantly communicating with the coaches, and during that time period with me, looking at problems, solving problems, looking around corners, and so it was a team effort.
Brian, can I ask one last thing just about? I think you have a 3-year contract now, right, with Ohio State? Am I right about that?
Yeah.
Well, did you seek that? Did they seek that? And how important was it for you? Because they've rarely ever given out multi-year contracts, much less 3 years and stuff. But I never got to ask you that. But why was it 3-year important to you, or was it Ohio State that made it important?
I'd rather not get into just all the details of all that. And I appreciate the question. But I am obviously, and my family is very appreciative of obviously what the administration's done here, what Gene Smith and everybody in the whole university, President Drake, has done for me and my family. Very humbled for that, and just proud to be here.
Urban said that he plans to be more of a game manager this year. How do you see that dynamic in terms of offensive play calling maybe being different this year than it might have been last year?
Well, Coach has got a great feel for the game and always had a great feel for the situation and the look and human spirit, and so that's been a huge part of this thing from the beginning. And Coach always had a great feel for the offensive balance that we have in terms of run and pass, and has a great mind for the offense. So his input's always very, very important, and so there'll be a lot of input as we go into the meeting room and input on the field during the game day and constant communication. So
how would you describe, you think, that the level of faith that Urban has in you and Kevin and the offensive staff right now?
Well, I think that we've had some success early, but it's still a long road, and I think every day things go well. I think you get a little bit more faith put in you, but again, it's kind of the whole group. Obviously Kevin and I have been working together now for going on 2 years, and the whole staff together as a group on 2 years, but really talented. I mean, Coach Stud and Coach Alford and Brian Hartline now, and we have a bunch of young coaches who are really talented. So everybody kind of gets involved in it. And I think as a group, Coach believes in us, and he's a part of it too. So we're all in there together, trying to solve the problems and put the best product on the field.
Right. Ryan, you were thrust into a tough spot. So was Brian Hartline. What has impressed you most about him over these last 2 months?
His energy's been excellent. I think he has credibility with the players. I think they respect, when he says something, that he's been through it before. So energy's been great, and credibility is probably the second thing.
Do you think Alston Mack has regained his confidence this week after those snaps?
Yeah, I think so. We had a better Wednesday practice today than we did last week. Last week we put a couple balls on the ground. Today we were much cleaner. So I think that will hopefully project onto Saturday. But we're not going to give up on anybody. We're just going to stay positive, and we want those guys to be confident. And if a ball gets on the ground, we don't want that. But we're going to keep going back to them, and we did. I think maybe he put 3 or 4 on the ground, but then we kept going back at him again, and he made a play. And so we're going to work through those things, just like any other sport. There's going to be times where guys have a little bit of slumps or go through a couple things, but you work your way through it, and we believe in each other. And I think the thing that was really cool about that was there was a group of guys, trying to get him going and talking to him on the sideline and encouraging him on the sideline, like, look, we got you, everything's going to be fine. I don't think you find that in a lot of teams and a lot of offenses, so I thought that was really cool.